In a hidden corner, a half an hour outside of Bloomington, lies a hidden wall of limestone that climbers in the area frequent.
I heard about Unlikely actually before I started classes here at IU. I came in from Oklahoma, so Unlikely was not on any map I'd ever seen of the area, to say the least.
You know, just word of mouth. And I do remember that I looked online to see if I could find any information, and I really couldn't find much.
It's a cliff that's been blasted into existence, and it's short. It's an area that will never be extremely popular. Having said that, it's the only climbing area within about a 3-hour drive of Bloomington.
There are various ways that these climbers first heard of the Unlikely Wall.
Probably 4 years ago, I was living in Indianapolis for a little bit and looking for some climbing, and found out that this was like an hour away, so I drove down a couple times to check it out. And yeah, I wasn't impressed initially, but now that I live in Bloomington, I head out there sometimes.
Not serious climbers, just people that enjoy doing it, or maybe used to climb a little bit in the military or something like that. I think that they really enjoy Unlikely. They don't know, you know, about the Red River Gorge. They wouldn't be experienced enough, you know, to go down there. So I think they really enjoy Unlikely Wall, and it's quite common to see entire families out there, including grandparents, climbing, you know, with their grandkids, and I think that they really enjoy it.
I think climbers have in general and stereotypically, have sort of a sense about them that wants to leave their own impression in a climbing area, that wants to leave their own mark. And so climbers by nature are pioneers, and to simply follow someone else's route gets a little bit mundane after a while. So I think particularly higher end climbers start looking around and saying, well, where can I find my own new rock to explore? Where can I find my own cliff to set a route on, rather than simply follow someone else's route all the time?
Other times, I guess people enjoy the challenge, the added challenge of getting like way out into the wilderness in the backcountry.
I think climbers wrestle with that balance of wanting to get out and into this kind of natural environment, but minimizing the impacts that are really inherent.
There are various problems, however, with climbing Unlikely.
It's not good quality rock. It's limestone, so it's really hard, but it's fractured, so you can pull off large chunks as you're...
Oftentimes rock is covered in moss or lichen or loose rock, and those need to be, in climber speak, cleaned, right?
It's not in a nice setting. Highway 37 is, you know, 100 feet away. You can clearly hear traffic that's going by, you know, semis and whatnot. And the movement, the actual climbing movement, is not really that good. The routes are very short. The rock kind of ends, the climbable rock kind of ends before the actual top of the cliff. So even if the cliff itself is like 25 feet tall, the route may only be, say, 18 feet tall, and then it just gets blank and there's really nothing there.
Despite its problems, the fact that Unlikely lies outside of nature appeals to many.
Indoor climbing is just we try to recreate outdoor climbing, and so it's not the same thing.
That adrenaline rush of fearing what could happen to you is something that appeals to a lot of people.
There's an infinite variety, just way cooler aesthetic lines that were created naturally.
Unlikely Wall will likely always remain hidden.
Unlikely Wall will probably never be popular because it's just not that kind of cliff.
It's just kids going out after classes or cutting classes and going out there and messing around.
Overall, Unlikely is an excellent experience for local climbers.
I think that places like Unlikely offer that opportunity because there's good climbing all across the world that hasn't been found. You know, the best routes in the world are still sitting there waiting to be climbed, and you got to look for places like Unlikely to kind of broaden your horizons.